Hey there everyone! Are you ready to find out what type of all audio effects you can do in Olive? Well, good news for you, because today in the Digital Paul Workshop we'll be taking a look at that. It is I, the out of sync audio that makes your stream a comedy, Techno Meow Tinkerer. Now let's log on in. As we can see here, I got my default Olive editing set up, and the first thing I'm going to go to is I'm going to here to Tools. I'm going to come down to Preference, and I'm going to come over to Audio. And this is where you can set your output device, your input device, and yes, Olive can record audio directly into the program. I just recently learned that out myself. The sample rate, and of course the audio recording, whether you want it stereo or mono. Not the type of mono we get from kissing. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come and bring just one of my still images on down. I'm going to extend it long, because right here beside it, you see this is called the record audio. I'm going to click on that and click, and I'm going to drag over here to create this blank space. I can leave that as is. And as you can see right here, it has this red, blinking red. This just means it's ready to record. So when I click on this, I'm going to record. Testing 1, 2. We're testing recording audio in Olive, if I can ever talk, so we can play around with some of the special effects features. And there you go. It's recorded audio, as you can see right there. Now I can come over here. I don't have anything, but let's play it so you can hear and see what I sound like. Testing 1, 2. We're testing recording audio. So we need to bring that up a little bit. So I'm going to come up here to the effects. I'm going to click on volume. And for most of my stuff, I've been doing 15. So we'll try that. Audio in Olive, if I can. Okay, that sounds like a busted speaker. We'll drop it down to 10. Can ever talk, so we can play around with some of the special effects. And so that sounds about good. And so you got some other ones. You got your fill left, right. Now this right here is if you're recording and one side of your audio track is a little higher than the other. That's what this does. This right here just levels everything out to be about the same. Testing 1, 2. We're testing recording audio in Olive, if I can ever talk, so we can play around with some of the special effects features. And if you might, depending on what my headphones or speakers you use, you might could tell there was a slight difference in one side being stronger than the other when I had it off, and it being about the same when I had it on. Delete that. You also have this noise filter. This is like if you want to give it that snowy sound like old CTR television, like I did. Been recording audio in Olive, if I can ever talk, so we can play around with some of the special effect features. So like I said, that's if you want to get that snow effect. You come on down here to pan. This is if you want to go from left to right. Testing 1, 2. We're testing recording audio in Olive, if I can ever talk, so we can play around with some of the special effects features. Yeah, so that's how, if you want to, especially if you want to start getting a little bit more surround sound with some of your sounds and effects, you can pan them. Tone, this is just creates that little noise. Matter of fact, I'll just play it. You'll see it. Audio in Olive, if I can ever talk, so we can play around with some of the special effects features. And so that's basically that little tone effect, like you used to get the old bar screen on the old satellite system. Let's see, I don't have any plugins, so I can't use that. Now, one of the other things I've done, and I did this when I was on another video where I did transitioning on how I created that snowy effect. Other thing is, you got this audio transition, you got exponential fade, linear fade, and logarithmic fade. Now, I use linear more than anything else, and this is basically where you can just have it come in and out if you want to do something. Testing 1, 2. We're testing recording audio in Olive, if I can ever talk, so we can play around with some of the special effects features. And so as you can see, it kind of gets in. Fades it in and fades it out. And of course, you need to select which ones you want. If you just need it to fade in, if you just need it to fade. But that says if you just need to fade in. This is if you just need it to fade out. And so that's basically how you do. Now you have to hit the delete, select these and hit the delete key to get rid of them, because the right click for some reason doesn't want to be used. Now when I want Now you can also, if you're going to want to connect to a piece of film, or in this case an image, I'll select both of them, right click, and then you can link, and this will bring them together. And of course if you right click and click the unlink, it'll separate them. So that's how, if you want to unify it together with something. So if I want to link and bring them back together. Now as far as exporting just the audio, you can do it one of two ways. You can hit Control M, or you can just come up here to export, which is the same thing. And right here where it says format, you want to come over here, and I usually export it to MP3 audio. I don't know anything that uses MP2, but the MP3 is what I use to edit in Audacity now, since I've been trying to clean up my audio using Audacity. And I kind of just leave most of this stuff as is, and I just hit export and just save it as an audio file. And that is just some basic audio effects you can do in Olive Video Editor. And if you like my content and you want to help support the channel, you can go to these websites right here to support me in different ways, as well as like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you think might find it interesting. And if you want to get into a little bit more on the fading techniques and dissolve that I had used on my antenna build video, I recommend you check out my video, Olive Editor, Video Dissolve and Audio Fade Techniques, to see exactly how I did that for that video. Until next time, have a nice day.